The game of blackjack, or 21, is one of the world's most widely played gambling games. In the United States, it is played in the state of Nevada, in Jefferson Parish near New Orleans, in the Galveston area, on and off in Hot Springs, Arkansas, in White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia, and in homes and private clubs throughout the country. Blackjack can be played in Puerto Rico, Aruba, Panama, the Grand Bahamas, and other spots in the Caribbean. There is blackjack in Europe at the Lido Casino in Venice, on the Isle of Man, and in London. Manila, in the Philippine Islands, and the Portuguese colony of Macau, near Hong Kong, also have casinos which feature blackjack. In England, blackjack is known as Van John, and in Australia as pontoon. Both of these are corruptions of the French term 21. In Germany, it is called 21, or 18. Although the name varies, the game is essentially the same. In the modern casino game of blackjack, the player can gain a consistent advantage over the house by using the strategy presented in this book. Based on the mathematical theory of probability, this strategy was worked out with an electronic computer by the author and others. It is fortunate, and perhaps surprising, that the system reduces to a few simple charts that can be understood and memorized by the average player. In addition, the system lends itself to the rapid play usually encountered in casinos. The rules of blackjack vary somewhat from casino to casino. These variations, based on my studies of many casinos, are listed in Table 9.2. The table shows how these rules variations affect the player's chances and enables him to compare any two casinos and decide in which one to play. No system can win when confronted with the chronic disease of gambling games: cheating. Blackjack gives the dealer an excellent opportunity to cheat. Aside from not playing at all, the only sure protection seems to be to have the services of a card expert. But by taking the precautions described in Chapter 10, the average player can protect himself sufficiently in most situations. In the following pages, we begin by outlining and discussing the rules of the game, and then proceed step by step to advance the reader to any level of playing proficiency he desires. The first step is to learn what we shall call the basic strategy, a simple set of rules which tell the player when to draw or stand, when to double down, and when to split a pair. With the basic strategy alone, the player has the slight advantage of 0.1% in most Las Vegas casinos. Blackjack is the only casino gambling game today where you can consistently have the edge. Other published strategies for blackjack commonly give the player disadvantages ranging from 2 to 5%. The first substantially correct version of the basic strategy was discovered by Baldwin et al. There were slight inaccuracies both in this version and in the improved version published in the first edition of Beat the Dealer. The correct version of the strategy for one deck and a certain set of casino rules appears in Chapter 3. It was calculated by Julian Braun. In casinos with favorable rules, the basic strategy actually gives the player a larger edge over the house. In casinos with unfavorable rules, the player may have a slight disadvantage, up to 0.5% or so. Even so, he is generally better off than in any other casino game, including craps. The basic strategy does not involve counting cards. However, after mastering the basic strategy, the reader will learn a simple modification using a card-counting system that identifies many situations in which he has an advantage over the casino of more than 3%. Most people who are advised to count cards say, "But I can't keep track of all the cards in the deck. I can't even remember telephone numbers." They may be surprised to learn that they must count only 4 cards per deck used by the dealer, the fives, and that this additional information, combined with minor strategy changes, is enough to give the player a comfortable 3% edge.